I'm meteorologist Hermann City. It is Weather Madness time for this Thursday, almost a weekend, and not a lot of happening today. It's chilly up across the northeastern part of the country. Our old frontal boundary has moved down south. We still got some more rains across Texas. Boy, they've been hit hard by heavy rains. It's interesting to me that this is historic flooding. Um, you know, but based on I remember some pretty bad flooding, you know, years ago that was down in that area from big thunderstorm clusters and hurricanes down there. So I'm too sure it's really historic, but I don't know. I would anyway. That front's still stuck down here, and chilly weather up here. More lake effect snows coming up here. And the radar, still rainy down here across parts of Texas, western Texas now. Looks like the heaviest rains down here toward Austin are pretty much over for now. And severe weather-wise, nothing really going on severe weather-wise quite in that department. The tropics have also quieted down. You can see one of our first cold fronts have blasted across the Atlantic Ocean. But I don't know if we're done tropics yet. Something might come out of this mess over here. I won't be surprised if they put something on, say, well, just kind of watch that area over there for some development, you know. Because why I say that is, if you um, look at things, if we go to the GFS, we're going to get into the storm for next week. Okay, let me just do the now, and then we'll get to the later. Um, this is today. Showers and thunderstorms here. This is for tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms, Texas. Once again, up into the lower Mississippi Valley. Um, Cold front's coming across the Great Lakes. That cold front will blast through on Sunday, bringing showers and even some lake effect snows, flurries going on. Not a lot of rain across Texas, just a little bit of rain there. And a little tea. Um, but not a lot of rain going on. Another chilly shot of air coming down across the Great Lakes. Yuck. And that goes away on Monday. Looks like a beautiful day across a lot of part of the country. Um, it's got beautiful weather. It's just chilly up across the Northeast there. But you know what, folks? It's October. Deal with it. Okay? Now, let's get into what's going to happen. So, one of the things we're watching is the NEO. Okay, here's the NEO. We're riding high right now. By the end of the month, next week, it's going to go low. All right, one of the first crashes of the NEO. Blocking pattern we've seen. I haven't seen anything since June. So we're finally seeing a blocking pattern coming in. And usually blocking patterns means we get snowstorms or in the wintertime, and we get storms along the eastern seaboard forming. So we should see a storm. Okay? How the storm comes about is the issue we're having right now. The models are really having a tough time trying to figure all this out. Okay? If you look at things, let me see here. Oops, I lost my thing here. If you look at the GFS model, it has next Friday. It has a pretty good storm sitting. Where's my cursor? There's my cursor. Sitting. Oops, don't want you there. Sitting right here over the Delmarva, and a lot of rain going back in here. Okay, and how it gets there, it's interesting because it's like bringing a low out of the Gulf of Mexico and rotting it up ahead of the trough dropping in. Okay, and then eventually you get to the trough. That storm exits, and then you get another storm as the trough dumps in. I'm not sure that's the way it's going to come about. The European model kind of shows something different. Now here you got this like storm here, and you got a storm here, and they kind of come together to make a storm into the eastern part of the country as this trough drops in. Okay, I think the problem that these models are having, in my opinion, is that they're sensing something tropical down here. Let me go back to this one so you can see it better. Sensing something tropical down here in the Gulf of Mexico. They're trying to make a big deal out of it and bring it up as a storm while the trough is coming in. And I think it's having issues trying to figure all this out because you got the blocking pattern coming in. I think the models know that you have to have a storm, but how you get there, I'm not sure they're taking the right path to get there. I think the way it's all going to come about is this trough's going to come in and sort of dive in, and then you're going to get a big storm developing out of all this mess. And I won't be surprised the Appalachians get heavy snow late next week and next weekend. Okay, that's kind of where I'm going with all this. All right, because typically what you would have is you would have snow, heavy snow up in the Appalachian Mountains with this kind of pattern. So I don't think it's a run out, big storm runs out, and then the trough dumps in, another storm forms. I think it's going to be one storm that's going to form out of this whole trough coming in and the blocking pattern, which means rain and snow and that kind of stuff coming up. So that's my humble opinion right now. Now, my opinion can change over the next several days as we see fit, but it surely looks rather interesting weather pattern coming up next week, a stormier weather pattern and things to talk about instead of these cold fronts going through. All right, that's it for today. I'm meteorologist Henry Margacetti.